The Estoc tank from Vaporesso. Hey guys, so Heaven Gifts reached out to me and asked if I would review the Estoc tank from Vaporesso. I agreed, so let's just jump right into that review. This is the Estoc tank from Vaporesso. I'm guessing that Vaporesso named this tank after the Estoc sword, which is a type of longsword that does not have any sharp edges, but has a very pointed tip. It was designed for thrusting and was invented in the 14th century. So there's your history lesson for the day. In the box you get the tank, an extra replaceable coil, a replacement glass tube, and two protective covers, one red and one gray. It's a great looking tank. I love the way it looks. So the Estoc tank comes in two sizes, 4 milliliters and 2 milliliters, and they come in either black or silver. This one is the 4 milliliter version. The 4 mil tank, which is called the Mega, costs $19 in the United States, and the 2 mil model cost $18.50. Replacement coils come in packs of 10, the 0.4 ohm and the 0.5 ohm traditional Clapton coil pack cost $16, and the 0.5 ohm ceramic coil pack costs $18. The 510 pin is not adjustable and it doesn't protrude from the tank very far, so you definitely wouldn't want to use this on a hybrid mod. Vaporesso claims that it's a leak-proof system, and I agree with that. I've been carrying this tank around and no leaks at all. I've even stored it sideways in my backpack throughout the day and overnight and still no leaks. It has a Delrin drip tip, which is pretty standard. It's not a wide bore, but it's large enough to get an airy draw. It comes with what they're calling protective covers, which I believe are designed to protect your lips from getting burned if the tank gets hot. I haven't found a need to use them. The tank doesn't seem to get hot enough to need these, and I don't put the atomizer that close to my lips anyway. This tank used Vaporesso's all-new EUC coil, which stands for Eco Universal Coil, which is designed to make replacing coils easy. All you do is drop the coil core into the atomizer and put the tank back together. The core is very small and uses much less metal than most other replaceable coil heads on the market. This is supposed to save money and reduce waste, hence the eco part of the name. You can get the EUC coils in three options: ceramic stainless steel, which is 0.5 ohms, that's rated at 25 to 35 watts, that's included with the tank and installed. You can get the traditional EUC Clapton at 0.4 ohms, and that is rated at 40 to 50 watts, that's also included in the package, not installed. And then you can also get the traditional EUC Clapton at 0.5 ohms. That's rated at 35 to 40 watts, and that's sold separately. Vaporesso says that their coils deliver cloud-sized vapor with the purest flavor. I'd say that's an accurate description. You're not going to blow massive clouds with this tank, but you'll get a nice amount of vapor. And the flavor that I've been getting has been excellent. The flavor is the best with the ceramic coil, but I found that it's also pretty good with the cotton coil as well. The Estoc has an easy top fill system. You can leave it attached to your device and unscrew the top of the tank and fill it up. The glass doesn't slip off the deck, so there's no worry of the juice pouring out. It has bottom airflow adjustment. The airflow can close down to a very tight draw and open enough to get a nice straight to lung draw. You might notice that the holes in the replaceable coils do not match up with the holes that are in the chimney of the tank, but there's enough space in between that chimney and the coil that it doesn't matter. The e-juice wicks well anyway. Another cool thing about this tank is that you can unscrew the bottom of it while the tank still has e-juice in it and replace the coil without it spilling e-juice everywhere. It's a 22 millimeter diameter tank and fits well on most 22 millimeter mods. I've tried it on the iStick 50 watt, the iStick 100 watt TC, the Wotofo Chieftain 220 watt mod, the Smoke X Cube 2, the Tiny V Park 30 watt, and the Fuhattan Tube Mech mod. It looks great on all of them except for the Fuhattan, because the Fuhattan is a 24 millimeter diameter mod. But as long as you're using a device that's 22 millimeters, it'll look fine. So as for the airflow, if you're a mouth to lung vapor, you probably won't like it. Even with the airflow closed all the way as far as you can get it, it just has a little bit too much airflow. So for mouth to lung vapors, you'd probably be better off buying something like a Nautilus Mini or a Squape or a K-Fun V5, something like that. For most people, there's probably going to be plenty of airflow. After using an RDA like the Goon or something like that, the restriction, the airflow feels a little bit restricted, but you get used to it pretty quick and it's not a problem. I think it has pretty good airflow. If you're looking for flavor, the ceramic coils are great. The only problem is that they can only go up to 35 watts or 30 watts. And that means you can't get a lot of vapor. So they're best used for flavor, not for vapor production. That's different with the other coils, like the 0.4 ohm coil that comes with a kit. That one you can vape up to 50 watts. So that coil, you can get a much hotter vape. 50 watts isn't ridiculously hot like you would on an RDA, but 50 watts is pretty good. It's a very decent vape, and for me, I found that it's much more satisfying than the ceramic coils. I actually like the flavor production out of those as well. Not as good as the ceramic, but they're pretty good. I don't know how long the coils are supposed to last, but from the ceramic coil, I was able to get about 4 tankfuls out of it. So 16 mils of e-juice before the flavor started to die down a little bit. Something that I really like about this is that it doesn't leak at all. I haven't had any problems with it leaking, and that's a problem that I've had with every single tank I've ever owned. They all leak, except for the Nautilus Mini. That one, I've never had a problem with leaking. I really like how easy it is to fill. You just unscrew this top and pour in your e-juice, and that's it. It doesn't have any problems with leaking. The glass barrel doesn't fall off or anything because it's really tight here on the base. So the top fill works great. Another really good thing about this tank is that it's really easy to assemble. There aren't a lot of parts. There's just a few parts to it, so it's not complicated. You can just unscrew it, put the coil in, put it back together, fill it up with e-juice, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about losing any little parts. I've actually been looking for a tank like this, a tank that can handle a decent amount of wattage, that can produce a good amount of vapor, that has a satisfying hit, and that can produce a hot enough vape. All of that stuff in one, good flavor, and especially one that doesn't leak. That to me is the most important, and finally I've found a tank that has all of those things. I'm actually really impressed with this tank. I'm really happy that Heaven Gifts reached out to me to review this, because this is exactly what I've been looking for. Now, when I'm at home, I usually like to vape on RDAs. I like really high wattage. I like to change my flavors all the time. But when I'm on the go, I want a tank, something that's not going to leak, something I don't have to refill. And now I have this, so I'm really happy to have this. I haven't had any problems with it, and I would absolutely recommend this.